hmm
Hello, Candy members. Welcome to My Chiropractic Coach. And we make chiropractic business simple. My name is Dave Major, along with Dr. Mike Gandolfi. Hi, Dr. Gandolfi.
Dave, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Let's get
Um,
at
That's all right. There you go. Let's get right to it. We're passionate, dedicated, inspiring chiropractors and staff to achieve their full potential, so you can reach hundreds of people in your community. And so we're going to do a series of training videos, and it's all about conversion. And so there's many parts of conversion, and because we want your best return for the people Chiro Candy, sorry, has helped you attract in your office. So I think this is a huge thing, Dr. Mike, and we're honored to be able to present that. Correct?
Yeah, obviously, if you're investing your time, energy, and money into attracting new patients, you want to get the very most out of it. And so we're going to put together some tips and tools that you can take to and implement right into your practice that works. Because what we found is a lot of doctors are out there putting their time, effort, and energy into attracting new patients, but the challenge comes in is that their conversions aren't so very good. I mean, we often see conversions as low as 50%. So if you could imagine, if you would, if you could improve your conversion rate. I mean, so for example, just the module we're going to talk about today. We talked with the doctor, we went through the process with them, and just implementing the tools we're going to talk about today. He brought his conversion, it was just under 50%. So he was right at about 48% conversion, and working with them, being able to deliver that process, he brought his conversions up to 92%. So just imagine doubling your conversion. You don't have to
Yep.
even need more new patients. You're going to double your practice. So we want you to get the very most return out of what you're investing with Chiro Candy. And I think this is the best way we can do it to bring value to you. So when we talk about conversion, I think, Dave, don't you think, let's just define conversion maybe first before we even get into it, because it's a lot of different things to different people, because we have a lot of chiropractors with different goals, different types of philosophy and purpose in their practice. Some offices, their mission might be musculoskeletal pain relief, correction, rehab, etc. We have doctors who are subluxation based, we have doctors who are wellness focused, so we have doctors all over. But what it really boils down to, a conversion is going to be a patient who agrees to the care plan that is congruent with your intent. In other words, a conversion is not somebody who comes in, goes through a couple of visits, and gets an adjustment or two. What did they
Exactly.
actually convert to? The
Exactly.
conversion is only a conversion when it's congruent with your purpose or your intent for that patient. Does that make sense, Dave?
That makes total sense. And let's make a point very clearly here that we know why are we so passionate about conversion? Because what's the old saying, Dr. Mike? If you don't convert them to chiropractic, you lose them to medical. I mean, it's a life-saving thing. And it's not just about converting and increasing your bottom line, but it is reaching more people and letting them see the benefits of chiropractic. And let me tell you, we've seen a huge shift. More people are willing for an alternative than ever before. So, I tell you what, my son told me a thing years ago: where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. I mean, and so we need to know our purpose. You're so right. People with
Right.
purpose have a purpose, they have passion, they have this high energy, they have certainty, they have all these things because they have a purpose and they feel that purpose.
So that's it. I mean, guess what? Our first module is going to be about purpose, which some people are like, yeah, purpose, but it's what makes it tick. Um, if you don't have passion for what you do, people take action and make decisions based on emotions, based on energy. And if you're flat, if you go into a report of findings flat, if you have no energy, people are going to walk. So to begin with, in order to achieve what we want to achieve with our conversion rate, which what's possible in chiropractic, it's absolutely possible to hit a 95% conversion rate with full care plans. People want what we have to offer. There's very few people who are really unqualified for our practice. So we want people to obviously experience chiropractic because that's where the miracles happen. And really, when we take a look at practices, everything always begins with purpose. Any great thing that's ever been achieved in, any invention, any great business always begins with a passionate purpose, because it's the passion, it's the energy that motivates and drives people. And
Mhm.
so what we want to talk about here is helping you express and experience your unique talents, gifts, and abilities, and being able to share that with your community in the very highest context of life. That's what it's all about. Purpose is who you are. It comes from you, through you, to your patients, to your staff, to your community. And when you're passionate, when you're energetic, when you're excited, that's going to resonate with them, and that's going to move them to take action. So it begins with purpose. Your purpose is why you're here. It's who you are.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. Exactly.
why.
Yeah. It's one of those things where your events in your life, in your practice, plus your response equals your outcome. So if your outcome is like this, well, I'm here to help you. It's like, I don't want you helping me. I want someone like, hey, I know we can do our best, blah, blah, blah. They have that energy. I do something in my seminar sometimes. I say, no, and I'm here to pump you up. But Winston Churchill, if he got up and went, never, never, never give up. But he was like, never, never, never give up. 30 minute standing ovation for a 30-second talk. He had his posture there. He was, the words came out, the tonality, and that's what purpose does. And I think you said it beautiful when you said the beauty of purpose is that when you know your why, your conversion's better. Your conversion's better. No matter if, guess what? They don't accept care. You still like, hey, I'm always here for you. I'm passionate about what I do. You make an impact, a positive impact. So
Well,
I just love this. You see, we get excited
so,
about it.
so if you're doing a report of findings and that patient gives you some lame excuse like, well, I need to think about it, I need to talk to my spouse. If you're not on purpose, you accept that.
Mhm.
Whereas when you're on purpose and you're passionate and you want to help people, you're going to go through the BS. You're going to cut through the BS and stay with that patient. And we're going to teach you tools in some of the other modules exactly
Exactly.
that.
Exactly.
So
How to come back.
absolutely. But it begins with purpose. It's got to come from the heart. It's got to come
It,
from you. It's got to come from your
it
energy.
all
And if it,
starts with the heart. That's why I say if the heart's not changed. So, you know what? We're going to give you some keys now in infusing certainty, conviction, compassion, clarity. This is going to really help you. Seriously. I mean, we have a total of almost 70 years experience in, having practices. He's had multiple practices. I ran multiple practices. I own some too, but it's like, we know the keys. So, let's talk
so
about go on.
what would happen, Dave, if they dramatically improve their conversion rate? What's going to happen? They're going to be a lot happier with Cairo Candy because they're going to get a much better return on their investment, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Their practice is going to grow quicker, faster, easier than they ever thought possible. Patients are going to get better clinical results if they're actually completing what your recommendations are. Obviously, um, it's going to be easier,
And
right?
referrals go up. Yeah, it's going to be, that's our concept. Chiropractic business made simple. It is a business. We make it simple, but you got to start with the heart. That's why we're talking passion. If you don't have passion, forget it. So we need you. Number one, there's these R's, there's 6 R's. First one is redefine. Redefine your purpose. You always got to check your purpose, don't you? Some people say, oh, here's something I saw 10 years ago. This is what our purpose is. No, it's got to be your purpose personally, congruent, like Dr. Mike says. So number one, redefine your purpose. Look at it. You might need to tweak it. It's changed. The
Well,
second
how
one, you got to,
do you hear,
pardon?
Dave? Do you hear, when you're talking to a doctor and you ask them what their mission is or what their purpose is? It's like they got it off of somebody else. It sounded good, so they grabbed a hold of it. Um, it sounds like it's something they got off the back of the on purpose box or something. It's not them. It's not there. It doesn't come from them. And so the first thing I always do is I ask them what their purpose is, and they're like, it just this quiet,
To
dead.
help people. It's like,
And they're like, as many people as I can. No,
yeah,
that's not
exactly.
right. Right.
Exactly.
So
But it,
they even know what their purpose is. So how can you become passionate about something you're not even sure what it is yet? And
right.
so when Dave talks about to reevaluate and take a look at it, you really need to take a close, deep look at what your purpose is. Does it inspire you? Does it make the hair on the back of your neck stand up? I mean, when I think about here's somebody who has high level of purpose, they can't stop talking about it. You know, when they're passionate about something, they're always talking about it. They're talking about it with their family. They're talking about it with their friends. They're talking about it with people they meet. And then over time, they lose their passion. They lose their direction,
Exactly.
focus. And
Exactly.
they're talking about other things like, hey, you know what? You know, the new golf club that came out, or hey, right? They're passionate about
Yeah.
playing golf or their family or trips, but anything but chiropractic. So
Exactly. Exactly.
again,
And
when
they go, wait, I gotta find it. Where is it? No, it should come out. It's like somebody asked me on a plane one time, what do you do? Instead of saying I do this, I said, I inspire people, people's lives to impact the world. And they're like, wow. I didn't say I'm a motivational speaker. So, what happens is too, me, I'm a little ADD squirrel, and Patch and Temple and Chris Kent said one time, Dave Major sometimes doesn't finish the sentences. He shifts all around, but at every time he's done, whether it's a full sentence or not, I can feel he believes it. He believes it 100%. So the tonality. Next one, number 2 is reactivate. So you got to reactivate, like I said, pull it out of the and dust it off, or recreate it, or reactivate this thing called purpose in your life. That's pretty simple and cut dry. Number 3, then you reignite this. When your purpose is reignited, Dr. Mike, what is reignited? You,
you're
right?
yeah, when it comes from your heart, again, if they're, it's the emotion that gets people to move. So if we take a look at in the context of doing a report of findings again, if you're on fire, if you're ignited, if you have passion, what happens? You're going to have more certainty. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have more conviction. You bust through the challenges that might come up and the objections you might reach from the patients. Again, it begins with that energy, with that passion. And so we want a purpose that ignites you. So when you read it again, if it doesn't motivate you, if it doesn't inspire you, it's not the right purpose. Go
Mm-hmm.
back and look at what your unique gifts, talents, abilities are. What motivates you? What gets you excited about chiropractic? Where's the energy come from? And that's
Exactly.
what
Exactly. Next one, number 4, refocus. Now, guess what? I'm going to give you a little tip. I want you to think, whether you've been practice a couple years, 3, 20 years, what happens when you were first out of school and in your practice? You were fired up, right? You were fired up. You would do anything. And you had that, like, you wanted to help a lot of people. You want to set the world on fire. And of course, over time, people lose their purpose. They kind of like forget their purpose. So this is something that hopefully you refocus yourself on purpose and know and say your purpose every day, because that leads us to the 5th one, which I think repeat. Dr. Mike has a great story. I love this story about a business. Tell that story.
but what happened was is I was actually in Europe doing a seminar, and I grabbed a book out of the airport, and it was about a European company, and international. They had offices all over Europe. I thought it was an interesting read. I picked it up, started reading it, and the whole bit of the entire book was really one message. And it was this: that the new CEO, so they fired the CEO, the company is going bankrupt, they get a new CEO in. The first thing he does is he goes to every location all through Europe. So he goes on site, shakes every single employee's hand all the way down to the janitor. And what he did was he installed a vision, or communicated his vision and his purpose for the business. And then that was his goal, was to just get everybody fired up about, here's our purpose, here's what we do, here's what we're all about. And the interesting thing is he told his managers that every person on the team, everybody all the way down to the janitor, needs to hear their purpose, the business purpose, 10 times a day. It was like, try that. It's really difficult to do, to communicate to your staff about purpose 10 times a day. I mean, we begin every morning with a morning huddle, right? And the way we do it is it begins with our purpose first. Then the purpose is repeat after me. Our purpose and passion is blank, blank, blank. So repeat after me. And we go through our purpose with every single huddle, with every single meeting. That's where we start. Okay. And then you can communicate your purpose in a lot of different ways. So trying to get it in 10 times to my staff was a real challenge. So we came up with things like, hey, did you notice Mike is no longer having digestive problems? He's had digestive problems for 40 years. And as we started adjusting, it cleared up. So that's that's an example of our purpose manifested. And so we started thinking about ways how we could communicate, and that just fires up the team. The team begins passionate and gets excited about what we do. And again, that's what this is all about. So
Exactly.
if
So,
your team can't recite the purpose, we have to ingrain that like indelible ink into their brain. They need to get and understand and let it drive you, let it drive the practice.
exactly. Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, and I have a story in Philadelphia. Someone came from Total Solution, which I've done for 20
okay,
years, 7,000
basic
chiros.
outcome,
Pardon?
bankrupt,
Yes,
and became very profitable and very successful. That's why they wrote the book. So,
yes,
all right. So
definitely.
needed
Sorry
to,
about that. But anyways, came Total Solution, and they did purpose statement. Then they did I Believe I Can Fly, a song. I can fly. They got jazzed up. They went from like 80 visits within 3 months. They were up at over 200. Why? Because they got on purpose. Then they repeated it, and they said the purpose I mean, I saw the results of it. It's amazing. So that's the last one, results. And the results speak for themselves. And again, where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. So you need to have a purpose in your mental, physical, spiritual, in every aspect of your life, or you'll abuse it. You won't be healthy if you don't have a purpose of working out, or purpose of eating right, or purpose of getting mental, positivity in your life. Someone's like, you know what? It's like, why in 40 years are you still doing screenings and you're almost 70 and you're out there? I go, because I have a purpose. God gave me a purpose. God-given talents equals what the talents we use. We're given a talent, so we need to use it. So we see more potential in people than they do. So hopefully this purpose will make you realize I do have a purpose. I've not been fulfilling my purpose. Therefore, I need to, up my game, because success is talents given equals talents used. It's simple. Are you using your talents? So I
right.
really want to thank you so much for listening. There's many more components and be scripting on what to say and all these and comebacks to different
We're
things
going
that
to go
people
through the
say.
process and have another tool, hopefully a short video that will deliver an actionable tool that you can put into your practice that's going to help you with your conversions. We want to get those conversions up. First thing you need to do is start measuring what your percentage conversion is so you know how it's improving.
Right.
Because Dave, you'll like this. We were working with one of our doctors probably about 2 weeks ago on screenings. And so the staff was doing a screening, and they were going to this same place, a health club doing the screening, and they weren't.
Well, I think Dr. Mike kind of
Anybody,
froze
nobody was
there.
coming in from the screening. The thing we did, and what's that? Did I freeze?
A little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear. All right, so what we did was we just talked about purpose and why they're doing it. So quit chasing after new patients, instead start attracting new patients because of your purpose, because of who you are. The very next screening, 22 new patients, same
Nice.
location.
Nice.
It's all about
Nice.
purpose. You want results?
Nice.
It's all about purpose. Change your inside first, and your
Your
results
outside
are
will change. Exactly. We don't apologize because we're so passionate, but it's gone a little over a half hour. So the other ones will be short and to the point, but we want you to get to know us. And Mr. Billy is an amazing man. He's done amazing work. God has blessed him. And we honor the opportunity to come and speak and give you these words of knowledge of all the years we've been in the profession. So there'll be the information if you want any questions or concerns to contact myself or Dr. Mike, and we'd be happy to share. Maybe we need to clarify one point or help you with one point. Feel free to call us. We appreciate it, and you have a blessed day. And remember, get your game face on, head the game face on, and you have a purpose. We appreciate you, each and every one of you, and look forward to more success in your practice to save more lives and help more people experience full optimum health and well-being. Take care. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mike.
You bet. Thank you, Dave. Bye-bye.